Blake Production.
What's going on, guys? We're going to break down Zcash and Cypherpunk technologies today. I am super excited about these assets, like very excited. I think that they're essentially, in my opinion, Zcash is like one of the most slept on cryptocurrencies in the entire market. It really doesn't make sense to me how people don't see this as a, some sort of hedge, or at least be aware of the opportunity that it's presenting. For those who aren't aware, again, for the lack of a better term, Zcash is simply encrypted Bitcoin. Dude, what are you even talking about, bro? I know, I get it. The cool thing about Zcash is that there's 21 million, very similar tokenomics to Bitcoin, similar halving schedule, all of that. Except with Zcash, you have this option to shield your money. And by shielding your money, you're encrypting it behind a zero knowledge proof wall, which essentially means nobody knows who you're sending it to, where it's coming from, how much is being sent, the wallet address, none of that. That stuff is all encrypted. So it's truly private. Now, as we really think about where we are at in this AI world, right? It's still early. But if you can envision this, 5, 10, 15 years from now, there is going to be such a hard surveillance of money by the use of AI in society. It's going to be very pervasive in a way. Imagine everything you spend your money on is being tracked because it's on the blockchain. Everybody knows your wallet address because it's easily searchable. You could just quickly go ask AI to find this guy's wallet address, attach it to his IP address. And before you know it, now you know where this guy lives, who it is, how much money they have. We're slowly walking into that world. Ideally, measures get put in place that it really isn't that simple to do. But right now, it's easy to see the path we're going down. And having an asset like Zcash is very interesting in that type of environment. I think that alone sets up quite an interesting landscape and potentially opportunity for Zcash to thrive, right? So again, very similar tokenomics as Bitcoin. I believe Zcash has gone through now 2 halvings, and what we're seeing here, right, this past breakout that we witnessed from August 2025 to November 2025, that was a absolutely massive move. We've seen a 20x play here. Look at this bullish volume coming in, but this consolidation that we're seeing, look at the volume, right? This is bullish volume accumulation patterns that we're seeing here. The volume on the correction is minimal compared to all of the volume coming in. So what we're looking at here, back here, right? If we start to zoom out on the weekly time frame, the amount of positioning down here is enormous. The amount of positioning we're starting to see here as we're watching Zcash hold up at around 250 is likely going to be very similar and is creating that new base after we get that 20x move. So, in my opinion, what we're looking at here, again, I do want to be aware of the downside, so I will get to the bearish outlook, but I think we're getting closer and closer here to a breakout to the upside. We have this left shoulder. We have the head of the inverse head and shoulders. This downward trend line is going to be the first indicator of if we actually are reversing this downtrend that we're in. And I'm really excited to see, how Zcash fares out in the coming weeks and months because it's starting to look increasingly bullish. I believe, I mean, fingers crossed, anything could happen with Trump at this point, but I think we're moving closer to seeing, all this Middle East war in Iran kind of come to a close, ideally. And hopefully that doesn't continue on for much longer because the sooner it ends, the more the markets are gonna, want to thrive, in my opinion. So here we have this bullish setup, and if we want to look at it from a inverted scale, we would be essentially, I'll delete all this out of the way. We would essentially be looking at, kind of like an ascending triangle pattern here. So there is the opportunity that we see Zcash continue to the downside. And the pattern I would be looking at is this right here, how we've been steadily making those higher lows. When the chart is inverted, keep in mind, we've been making those higher lows up into this resistance, okay? So that is the bearish outlook, but the bullish outlook is essentially everything that I've been mentioning here. The inverse head and shoulders. We have this lower trend line. What we'd be looking at essentially is the potential breakout move here that would be creating the right shoulder. So we'll get that breakout, back test, continue to the upside, and create this right shoulder as we develop this base under 700, okay? So that's what I'd be looking at for Zcash from a bullish perspective. Now, when we're looking at Cypherpunk Technologies, guys, like this is another opportunity here that I just can't ignore right now. And I think that all hands on deck trying to accumulate as much Cypher under $1, it feels like a no-brainer to me. Again, it's not financial advice. I could be wrong, and I'm fully aware of that. But, what we're looking at here, we had the launch of Cypherpunk Technologies. In one single day, the stock goes up 368%. We start to rally a little bit higher. It's been since the end of November, we've gone down as far as 83%. It's been, call it, 5 months, 6 months, half a year. I know it goes by quick, but it's been essentially half a year consolidating on Cypherpunk Technologies since the highs. And look what we're creating here. We have this nice bubble butt bottom pattern forming. Clear resistance under these levels. I think what we're potentially going to see in the coming weeks is, that move, that breakout move to get to potentially $1. We consolidate, back test, and then again we start to get that rally. And I don't think the market is ready for this. Like, this is just the warm-up here. What happens when we see Zcash potentially above 1,000, potentially towards 2,000-3,000 per coin? Again, we're thinking about the big picture here. How much capital, of all the money in the world, how much capital would want to move into a network that is truly private and truly encrypted? How much of the world's capital wants to be private? That's the big question. There's hundreds of trillions of dollars out there. If even 1% of the world's wealth decides to move into Zcash, both Zcash and Cypherpunk Technologies are going to significantly re-rate higher. I'm positioning myself for that. I hope you guys enjoyed that video. I know this was a long one, but I truly believe, and I have this weird instinct, this weird gut feel that both Zcash and Cypherpunk Technologies are going to be holy grail trades for this next cycle. Peace, guys.